one of my favorite writers is actually Douglas Adams. So Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And one of the things I actually like most about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is the fact that Douglas Adams purposely was like, well,
not a chance. Can't right now.
We're going to offer a new experience for those who are fans, but then new people can also kind of come in and be able to like experience something new and fresh. And so that was like kind of like my thought process, where it's like if the audiobooks and the ebooks end up being like super successful, is the game too loud? Thanks for letting me know. Because I would have just kept talking. Hold on 1 second. I'll fix that real quick. I think. Hold on. I honestly don't even know how to turn off the game volume on here. Let's try that. Oh, that's where it's at. Let's want the switch right here. Turn this down right here. Boopity bip. Bow bippin'. Is that better? Let me see. That should be better. Oh yeah, that looks better. Cool. Sorry. Didn't mean to be blasting y'all with the Hades music. Even though the soundtrack is super lit. Super big fan of this game. Anyways, I kind of forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, the whole purpose of this was to be able to create this universe that had like longevity, and to be able to spin it off into something that's like, if we decided to make a TV show, you know what I'm saying, then it would be slightly different. It would still be based off of the same universe. But it's one of those things where it's like, all right, cool. I just want to get it out there because I've been sitting on this for like the longest time. Like this project and my second film that I'm working on, which I'm going to talk about here shortly. I've been working on these projects for like 5 years, and it's like, oh my God, it's starting to like kind of really weigh on me creatively because I have so many other things that I want to do. Creatively in terms of this music, etc., so forth. I'm gonna talk about all of it during this stream, but there was a lot of internal pressure and external pressure too, but to get this shit out. And I was just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna go ahead and push this project. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna, lock in, focus. I don't have any money. I'm gonna lock in, I'm gonna focus, and I'm just gonna like write these stories. I'm gonna get this artwork out, and I'm just gonna drop this shit, and then I'm just gonna build it from there. And then that will kind of relieve a big amount of pressure on me as a creative, just to get that off my block. And I think other creatives, as you guys hear this, you probably relate. You know what I'm saying? There's probably like a project that you've been working on for like forever that you've been wanting to get out, and you can't for whatever reason because life is crazy, and it might be kind of like a thorn in your side. That's how it was for me. It's like, all right, well, I definitely just need to get this done. So I said, fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and just drop this shit. We'll figure out some mechanics in the back end, etc., so forth, and that's where we're at. So yeah, Parallax is available now. It's like I said, it's a multimedia universe, and I'll talk about it a little bit more, where like literally it's mostly about this event called the Parallax event, which is like when the world was basically covered in shadows for about 4 minutes and 13 seconds, and it happens at 4:13 on a Monday. Those numbers will hold more importance later on in the story, but the whole idea is the fact that when the shadows hit, chaos ensued, as they would when the entire planet goes dark. It's kind of expected that there was going to be some type of shit. You son of a bitch. There's going to be some type of chaos that ensues. But the stories that are in the Parallaxers are basically like the aftermath of that. So focusing on people who got abilities after this event, and like the families around them, like the government agencies that were formed. There are currently, there's 2 volumes that are done right now, and there's 25 chapters amongst those 2 stories. Let me kill this bitch real quick. She should already be dead. Sorry, I'm trying to kill this chick real quick. This is not a very good run through. There you go. So there's 25 stories, 25 chapters right now. And I think there's like 22 characters that exist that are introduced in the Parallax universe. And essentially there are different stories that, talk about homegirl getting powers and how she deals with that, or like a mom dealing with her daughter who has powers. And one of the stories is like a librarian / historian who can go inside of books, and the more he does it, the more the books start to like blend in stories. So you'll have like Captain Ahab in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea and stuff like that. And the whole point of it is just literally to be able to, one, establish this universe, but then also not necessarily have a direct through line, at least immediately. Obviously there's a plot, but I was low-key inspired by Heroes in the sense that it was like, okay, cool. So what did Heroes do that I really liked? Well, Heroes really brought in a lot of characters who were just random as hell. And as you start to progress through the story, you start to really figure out like how all these characters are connected together and how it all plays out into the grand scheme of the story. And so that's kind of where I got the inspiration, that aspect of the inspiration. But another big inspiration for me too is, hold on, let me change my boon real quick because this one's dead. We'll go to this one. Another inspiration for me too is Marvel's now defunct Marvel New Universe. So this came out back, they still have it, but it's not nearly as popular. But Marvel's New Universe was like a spin-off of the Marvel Universe in the 80s. And essentially what it was like a brand new universe where they had their own series of comic books, and all the events that took place in the new universe had nothing to do with the Marvel Universe. So it was a brand new separate universe. But the main through line of that universe was the fact that there was a thing / entity called Star Brand. And the Star Brand, the way that the Star Brand works is that it's basically like one of the most powerful forces in this universe, if not the most powerful force. And whoever yields the Star Brand can basically have immense power. Damn, that was not the right move. Have immense power. Power of the galactic energy type beat. And so essentially, like when you carry the Star Brand as the entity with the Star Brand, you have unlimited power, and you have the option of putting it down somewhere or just carrying it with you until you want to carry it. But when you put it down and you try to get rid of the Star Brand, it actually I got that part wrong. When you pick up the Star Brand, something known as the white event happens. So you pick up the Star Brand and light goes in all directions. And what happened is that the story of the new universe is that the Star Brand lands in like, how much money do I got? Lands in Philadelphia, I believe it is. And essentially what happens is that a guy picks up the Star Brand and he becomes the Star Brand. But when he does that, he causes a white event, and a bunch of people around the world end up getting abilities. And then so the new universe essentially tells these stories. So there's characters like Justice. There's also Cyforce, a couple other characters that are just super dope. I grew up on this series as a kid. Like I read all the comic books, and I was like a big fan of the new universe, and it really like affected me as a writer, because the thing that I found the most interesting about it was the fact that you do have all these stories eventually connecting. Like first they seem like I don't have any fucking money. First they seem like one-off stories that aren't interconnected, but as you go on, you start to realize there's a bigger picture. So that was like one of my biggest inspiration for this was like, I really wanted to just do my own version of the new universe. Like if I ever got picked up by Disney to like write Marvel stories, I would probably pitch New Universe. That's how much I love it. I think the only thing I would want to write more than New Universe in terms of superhero stuff would probably be Spider-Man, of course. Spider-Man's my favorite hero, but damn it. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to make my own New Universe know what I'm saying? And just kind of start from scratch, like brand new characters, brand new everything. Like nothing here is like taken from anything else. These are all characters that came from my own little mind, hoping to share that and resonate with people who just like cool superhero stories, because I like cool superhero stories and I have a lot of cool ideas in my brain. So the whole purpose of the Parallaxers is to like kind of really just kind of live that out. And like I said, the ultimate goal really is like maybe we sell it to Disney 10, 15 years now. I don't know. But, you know, to be able to experience it in the form of like movies, TV, theater, I don't even know. Like it already exists in book form. So currently, we want this one. So currently, you can get the Parallaxers in an ebook on Kindle on Amazon right now. I have the physical copies coming soon, like very, very soon. I'm just waiting for the proof to come in, so make sure it looks good before I show that on to you guys. So it exists in book form. It exists as an audiobook, but then you can also listen to episodic podcast episodes. So like if you're on Spotify, you can find the Parallaxers on Spotify. And you can also find it on Apple Music. And then if you go to the YouTube channel, there's actually like visual episodes. So like using AI to generate the images, like how I explained earlier, it's getting a lot better. So I can actually generate some pretty dope ass images. Nothing quite consistent yet. Hold on, let me read real quick. I think about this one. Nothing quite consistent yet to the point where I can establish a comic book, but you know, give it some time because AI has been going nuts lately. Give it 6 months and you'll be able to generate super consistent images on a super consistent basis. And at that point, you know, we'll consider some other things like maybe doing an AI generated video series, or maybe even just finishing out the comic book. But essentially I generated images and I created like visual audio episodes, essentially like audio books that are, or audio episodes that have visual elements to it. So if you go to the YouTube channel, you can find those episodes there. The first 3 are out right now. I think from there we're gonna upload them probably like weekly. That's what I'm thinking. And we have the first 6 episodes like done. They're on my computer right now, ready to go. So we're gonna have those out over the next like 3 or 4 weeks. And then from there, volume 2 will probably be done in terms of the audio episodes. So we'll probably start rolling those out. But if you just can't wait for whatever reason and you just want this whole story right now, then you can get the audiobook here very soon. And the audiobook will have volume 1 in its entirety ready for you to get. And then we're going to follow that up with volume 2. As far as the story right now, there is about, I think we're going to do 4 volumes is what I decided on in terms of like my layout of the story. We might have another volume added depending on how things go and feedback. But the initial story is definitely going to only be about 4 volumes, which is about 10 to 12 stories per volume. But then from there, like I said, I have a bunch of other stuff planned, including spin-offs. So, you know, I wrote myself into the story, which makes sense because, you know, the Parallax universe is a result of the Black One multiverse, if you're familiar with that. So it made sense for my character to be in there, but my character will have his own story here soon called Star Kid. And then we also have the Zenith Prophecy coming very soon. And then we also have the Displacement Underground. So the Displacement Underground is one of the groups that are featured in the Parallaxers. Kind of think about like the X-Men, kind of sort of like X-Men, or like not Justice League, more X-Men than anything else. So they'll have their own comic book series or their own audiobook series as well. Part of this, and I kind of skipped over this part, with the audiobooks, part of this that made this so possible was, once again, AI, because one of the things I'm using is 11 Labs. So with 11 Labs, they actually have the ability, you can actually basically hire voice actors via 11 Labs. Like, voice actors upload their voices to 11 Labs to be used however you choose to use them. And so with that, it's like, cool. These guys, all the voices that you hear on the audiobooks, these people are being paid. So I'm not taking money out of anybody's pocket or anything like that. Like, I'm using 11 Labs to get as many actors as possible for as cheap as possible, because like I said, I'm not rich. But in a perfect world, the Parallaxers pop off, and all of a sudden I got, I don't know, a famous voice actor doing volume 3 or volume 4. Do I want lightning? Yeah, we'll take lightning, that's fine. And so, like I said, I have ultimate vision with that. But yeah, with 11, I hate this fucking thing. With 11 Labs, it really allowed me to like kind of go the audiobook route. I don't think I would be able to really get this out in a palpable way otherwise. Because yeah, I could write the stories, but if we're being real about it, podcasts and audiobooks, that's where it's at right now. That's like where the whole energy is at in terms of just like people being able to be consuming art right now. That's like basically where it's at, in my opinion. And I might be wrong about that, but and yeah, books are popular. It's still like a $40 billion industry right now. So it's like, cool. Let's find a way that we can capitalize off of that. So with 11 Labs, we're able to really like, damn it, I really hate this rat thing a lot. There we go. With 11 Labs, we're really able to, flesh out this audiobook. We have like, I think there's like 25 voices on there. And like I said, all these people are getting paid. So it's really cool to be able to do that. And so that's kind of like been like most of it has been writing the story, getting it organized, and then synthesizing all the text into audio, which takes a lot longer than I thought. Originally, I was like, I'm going to have the whole story out by now. That was my original plan. I was like, I'm just going to drop all 5 volumes right now. But then I ran into a bunch of hurdles just like in the creation process of being able to like go and just like get them out. There's a lot of work that came into that. I'm pretty sure this is the boss of the next round. So that was fun. I mean, like the process is fun. I've been really enjoying myself doing all this. Is the boss next? Yeah, okay. So we'll do that. And yes. And like I said, this is a whole universe. So like I said, we got at least 3 more other stories coming from this universe over the next 6 months. Star Kid, The Displacement Underground, and the Zenith Prophecy. But then we also have Zenith Volume 3 and 4 will probably be out by the summer. And so, like I said, it's really just like building this universe, getting it out there, finding ways to get people who gravitate towards this stuff, which I know there's a lot of you guys out there. That's part of the reason why I'm even like streaming right now, because part of my main audience, and this is like kind of like the elephant in the room in the conversation, is that at the end of the day, I'm a nerd. I do be doing nerd shit, and I think a lot of my life has been about like not embracing that wholeheartedly to a level that feels like I'm getting the most out of life. And so doing this is like, all right, cool. Well, I'm gonna start streaming live on YouTube and start playing Hades and start doing all the nerd shit that I really love to do. God, I'm getting fucked up right now. Doing all this nerd shit that I really love to do for the sake of being able to find new people to gravitate towards what I'm trying to create here. So even if you're watching this stream right now, you're probably the demographic for this stuff that I'm making in terms of like Hades, or not Hades, the Parallaxers and this whole universe that I'm creating. I just blew that. Dang. Sorry, I have to go quiet when I'm getting my ass kicked here. Give me that. Oh. Sorry, I'll get back to talking here in a second. I'm just about to die. I've been able to get through this part without dying. I just died. Damn it. This is not a good run. This is bad. Might make it. We might make it. Get her. Yes. All right, cool. Sorry. I had to like stop talking for a second. Just losing focus. Yeah, and so finding my audience. I'm like, I kind of know like who is going to benefit the most from these stories. Like I already know who my target audience is. But I think the one of the biggest challenges comes down to the fact that, I'm a musician first. I think that's what most people know me as. They either know me as a musician or they know me as an influencer on social media. And so when I'm like, hey, I also wrote like a superhero book, there's a lot of work to be done to get people to be like, oh, well, why should we trust what you're creating and writing? But I do have a lot of credentials. I mean, I've gone viral for my Spider-Man script. For those of you who don't know, like I literally had hundreds of thousands of people read my Spider-Man home run script before Spider-Man No Way Home came home. I've also written at this point 13 scripts. 4 of them are films. The rest are either short films or TV series. I have a whole TV series there. I have 2 TV series that I've written. Kind of forgot about one of them, but I have two TV series that I've written, and I've written dozens upon dozens of short film or short stories. So my pen game is pretty good, man. Like it's something that I'm actually probably the most proud of is my ability to write a good story. But you guys don't know that. I mean, unless you've been following my career, like there's not a lot of evidence to suggest that all this shit that I'm saying is true, right? And so that's why it's like, all right, well, let me just show you guys. Let me go ahead and drop, 25 fucking stories from Parallaxers.
Don't give in.
Let me hop on here and start talking a little bit more. Let me start playing these video games that I really enjoy and start kind of refining myself with these audiences, because the lane that I was in with music, which I'm still in, still putting on music, and I'm gonna talk about that shortly. It's just a different lane. Like I'm not expecting rappers and people who are interested in hip hop to also be into nerd superhero shit. This is different audiences. There's overlap there for sure, and it's would be good to find that overlap. I mean, we are gonna make music for this project, and it's gonna probably be hip hop based. But for the most part, it's like, I'm respecting the genre lines on here and the lines here, in the sense that it's like I'm not just gonna expect all my rap fans to start reading my books. Now, with that said, I've already sold several copies of this. Like this came out like less than 48 hours ago, and we already sold several copies. And the YouTube channel has a few views and a few follows, so there's already like a little bit of like, okay, I see you moment going on right off rip, because I think there are people who understand me in terms of like what I offer, writing skills, etc., so forth. Like if you're rocking with me at this point as a fan, you know that I tell good stories, and you know that I follow through in the story department. That's like it's easily like my most strongest talent, is my ability to tell a strong story. And if you rock with me as a fan, you know this already. You know that to be true already. So it's like me announcing a superhero story / universe is like, oh shit, Jerron's doing some dope shit, and you rock with that. But like I said earlier, like a lot of other people don't know that. And like a lot of people who I think would benefit from this book and from this series just don't know that. They don't know who Jerron Eitner is. They don't know me as the guy who went viral for his Spider-Man script. They don't know me for the guy who created the Bond. They just don't know me, and that's fine. Like I'm not mad at that, but I just know that I have a lot more work that needs to be done. So I'm doing it, and that's part of the reason why I'm here. So I do appreciate you guys, like, rocking with me. I decided that, maybe if I stream games, that way people don't have to sit here and listen to me talk all the time. They can just watch me terribly play Hades 2. This run's not bad. This is an okay run. I mean, this is definitely not a great run. I usually don't be hitting the 3rd level half without my Death Defiance, but no, it is what it is. Let's do this one. Sure, that one looks cool. Let's do it. Yeah, so moving on, I definitely want to talk about my movie that I've also been working on. And it's the same kind of vibes that I've been dealing with the Parallaxers, in the sense that like this is like something I've been working on for a very long time now. I originally wrote the script for Magenta in 2018 is when I actually first wrote Magenta, and I actually wrote it as a thesis when I was going to film school, with the intention that I would eventually create it, probably with help of the school, which they did help me. They have helped me with this film so far. And we got into the whole process of making this film, which took a while because originally when I graduated from film school in 2019, December 2019. I have to make sure I say that part because it's part of the story. December 2019 is when I graduated from film school. And originally my plan was, all right, I graduated from film school. I want to go probably to LA. I'm going to get the fuck out of Phoenix. I'm going to go to LA and I'm going to go grind my way up at Netflix or whatever as a lowly lackey or something like that and just go make it happen. And so I started looking for jobs for that and had a couple of hits. Oh shit. There was an internship that I was applying for Universal Studios, not Universal Studios, but Universal, the movie company, which I guess is the same thing. And I had a couple of leads and a couple of hookups on some good jobs. And I was like, I actually might make this move. Let's go this way. I have both. Let's go this way. And so that was like my plan, 2020. But then obviously COVID hit. And then when COVID hit, it was like, shit, well, I guess like Hollywood was the first thing that fucking shut down. So it was like, well, I guess I'm not going to Hollywood anytime soon because ain't no damn jobs there. But thanks to the stimulus checks that came out, that led to me buying my first camera and then creating the bond from that. But that's not the story. The story is that when I actually graduated from graduated from college, the film school was basically like on my Johnson. They were like, yo, you're dope. We want to, continue to help cultivate your dreams and what you want to do. So we're going to help you in the best way we can. And this guy's fucking me up right now.
No blood where you're going.
God damn. All right. That guy whooped my ass. We want to help cultivate you and make your film. So they were actually like down to like help make this film in terms of providing location, providing food, providing gear. There's a bunch of stuff that they were willing to do to make this work. And so I was like, lit, I got this school. I got Scottsdale Film and Theater backing me up on this project. And, once again, COVID hit. Ooh, it's a tough choice. I need life, though. I don't think this shit's gonna give me life. Fuck. We'll go this way. Yeah, so the school shut down, and like that's basically what led to me buying my own camera gear, et cetera, so forth. Because originally I was gonna use the school's camera gear. I was just gonna like use their red cameras and their REs because they offered it to me to use it for my project. So I was like, bet we'll do that. But then the school shut down, so I didn't have access to any of that anymore. So I just bought my own shit, and that's when I created the bond. But Magenta was still in the back of my mind, where I was like, I really want to finish this film. So after like I finished the bond, I was like, all right, bet. Let's move towards Magenta. And I decided at that point I was going to shoot it and self-fund it myself. So the school did help still. The school actually provided like several locations, and they provided a little bit of food, and they provided like some mentorship for the project. So shout out to Scottsdale on that. And so I've been shooting this film, and this is like where the things get kind of crazy. And I'm not really trying to put anybody on the bus because like everybody's like kind of complicit in all this. I don't think I'm gonna make it here, bro. This run is not going very well. But we started shooting this like at this point 2.5 years ago when we started shooting Magenta, and I had a strong team behind me. It had some decent funding behind me, but then we just ran into a couple of production hurdles, and I don't want to go into too much detail because it's kind of embarrassing, to be honest, not on my part, but like the people who are involved. And like these production situations that we ran into literally shut down the whole project, to where I couldn't shoot anything for this project for several months. Yeah, and then from there, like one of the things that I think, for me anyways, in terms of like how I operate, one of the most important things to me is momentum. So having like the steam, taking the energy from one project and putting into another project and kind of continuing that momentum is critical to my success. It's hard for me to operate without momentum. So once we ran into this production issue, it became an issue where all the momentum died. Not only did it die, but I also ran out of funding too. The money got kind of tight, and I was paying all these actors, paying for locations, paying for gear, paying for craft services, which I don't mind paying for. But you know, my budget was tight in terms of like having this all organized and lined up to be shot over the course of 30 days, which was the original plan. And I really wanted to shoot it over the course of 30 days because the Bond actually took me 6 months to shoot, and I wanted to avoid that. Ironically enough, we are 3 times longer than the original Bond being shot, and that is what it is. But yeah, those production issues that we ran into really just killed all momentum. The momentum just like straight up died. And then at that point, it's an issue of also getting people's schedules in line, because some of these people that I was working with are actual working actors. Like, they work as actors. Yes, they work as actors for a living. So when I get an actor and I'm like, hey, I want you to go ahead and shoot for, you know, X amount of days, you know, they plan around that. And then after that, they go in and move on to the next projects. And oftentimes, like, even like their look or like their hair or things like that, they have to change that for the other projects. Like, they can't just have the same look, right? And so that is part of it too, is that some of these actors are like, they're blowing up, they're doing their thing, they're out there grinding. And because of that, like, it's hard to lock them in to get the project done. With that said, it's one of those things where now that I got the Parallaxers done, because that thorn was a little bit bigger in my side in terms of like the amount of effort, the amount of time and thought I put into this. Now that that thorn is like out of my side, I'm definitely switching focus back to magenta. And magenta's not even called magenta anymore, to be honest. It's actually a different name now. I don't want to announce that name yet until we're closer to that. But the movie, in terms of being shot, is actually about 85% done. There's literally like 2 or 3 scenes, maybe 4 scenes that have to be shot for this film before it's in the can. And the reason why, like, these are big set pieces, which is why they haven't been done yet. It's not like small scenes. Oh my god, I might not make this, bro. Might not make this. These are large set pieces that are going to take like a lot of manpower and a lot of help to logically get them done. And once again, it's a matter of me being able to, as the director and the producer of this film, getting all these pieces. God, this guy's beating the shit out of here. Getting all the pieces together in one go, and then being able to like fully execute on that. And that takes some time. I got to be able to sit down, gather some money, get some resources together, talk to some people, talk to my team, and make it happen. And to be completely transparent, I mean, 2024 was a very rough year for me, because one thing I didn't mention in all this, as some of you probably know, is that I had a studio, Star Camp Creative Labs. And that was actually a major, I wouldn't call it a distraction. I mean, I'm blessed to even be able to do that. But in terms of like my creative process, like my creativity really, really, really went downhill, ironically enough, when I opened up my studio. And a lot of that had to do with the fact, man, I'm like about to die here, bro. I'm about to die here, bro. This is not looking good. This is not looking good. I was hoping to talk the entire time. I don't want to do 2 rounds. Let's see. Anyways, yeah, it's one of those things where like, when it comes to being creative, I got to be able to do it wholeheartedly and make it feel right to me. But when I was running Star Camp, like, that was a service to other people. Like, that wasn't for the sake of me. That was the sake of providing something for the community and letting them be able to express themselves in the way that was necessary. And, you know, we did our thing with Star Camp. We did some pretty incredible shit there, man. Like, in terms of, like, shooting commercials, shooting some films. We brought out fucking Dizzy Wright. Like, we did some really cool stuff. And, like, I really don't have a lot of regrets with that place. But I think the biggest thing from that is the fact that, like, yeah, I was creatively drained. I didn't have... Plus, I had to turn into a business owner. Like, it wasn't necessarily about, like, oh, here's Creative Duran. It's like, no, here's CEO, owner Duran, that has to worry about taxes and has to worry about employees and has to worry about safety and permits and all these things that, quite frankly, I'm quite ready for on that level. I'm just not seeing your comment, Ivory. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, when it comes to Star Camp, like I said, no regrets on that. Well, I mean, there's a few regrets on that, but that's a different story. But in terms of like the decision to do it. I definitely don't regret that at all. But what it did is that it definitely did keep me away from, you know, putting my focus into the Parallaxers, putting my focus into Magenta, and doing that. That's like where it hurt the most for me. And so now that Star Camp's closed, because Star Camp closed back in June, because I simply just couldn't handle it. I was also running that spot entirely by myself. I was hiring out help, but I was looking for partners, but no one actually stepped up to the plate. And there's a lot of stuff that went down there that maybe I'll talk about one day, but no, the short of it is that, you know, I just couldn't handle it. And that's fine. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with me not being able to handle it. I think that's grown man shit to be able to admit that. And so that's what happened. Shut down the studio, and I kind of spent the last 6 months like retooling myself and thinking about, well, I thought this is what I wanted to do with Star Camp and, you know, be this whole studio owner and all this. But what I really want to do is get back to telling these dope ass stories. And a lot of people would agree with me. Like, I have people hit me up all the time and saying, why don't you write more? Why don't you write more scripts? Why don't you write more stories? I love your stories. I love your stories. Yes. And like my wife, for example, she was extremely adamant about me getting back to writing. She's like, you know, you haven't written anything in a couple years now, and, you know, I want to know what's going on with that, because, you know, I really love your writing, et cetera, so forth. And it's like, well, shit. If all these people like really love my writing that much, and I love my writing that much, and it's fun to do, and I enjoy it, like, let's really like get back to that. You know what I'm saying, let's get back to that real stuff, that real artistic expression that makes me happy deep down inside. I might need to take this armor. Impervious for 6 seconds. I don't know, this was a little tricky. I think I'm gonna take the armor because I don't have any life, so that's what we're gonna do. Oh, I can get this too. Bet. Yeah. So yeah, with Star Camp, it was like I said, I don't have any like crazy regrets with Star Camp in terms of like the artistic choice to do it. It just really kept me away from some of the stuff that I really wanted to do, some of the stuff that I've been working on prior, and also it drained a lot of my money. And that's just being transparent about it. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but it's expensive as fuck to run a studio. I'm probably gonna die here. If I don't, I am goated. I might go kind of quiet for a little bit, guys, because I need to concentrate on not dying here. We'll see. My build is weak as fuck too. Like, the build I had last night when I played this game was so good. Like, I had like a sick ass build. This dude just off of skill and not brute force. This boss is not particularly hard, it's just that they're strong. Got the strength. I also don't have a good cast right now either. It's kind of what's fucking me up. This is kind of solid. Might get lucky here. Yeah, this dude's attacks are so strong. It's not even the fact that they're hard, it's just that if they do hit me, pretty much fucks. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. I might die. I still have the tooth thing though. I just don't think that I'm gonna be able to get past the next part. I'll probably beat this Maybe. I'm actually not even sure if I'll beat this part. Got fucked up right there. Let's see. There goes my gold tooth thing. Yeah, I might die. We'll see. I still have some kind of faith that I might be able to pull this off. But I don't think I'm going to get much further than that. Let's see. Wow. Hit him with that Kamehameha. Oh my god. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, there we go, baby. Yeah, bitch. All right, cool. So, probably gonna die in the next level. But I can confidently say that I've been getting better at this game. Although this run is terrible compared to the run that I had last night. But it is what it is. I digress. Back to talking more. So,
You're free again for now.
yeah, back to the movie. So, I'm hoping, and I'm saying hope because the thing about the biggest difference when it comes to like making a movie versus, you know, doing the thing that I did with the Parallaxers or dropping an album is that there's so many other people involved on this project. So even like when I think about like how many people are involved on Magenta, codename Magenta, there's like over 100 people from extra cast, crew, PAs, all kinds of people are involved on this project, which, you know, that's part of the pressure that I've been dealing with because I need to get the film done. I already know this. But it's not as simple as just being like, oh, let me just lock myself in my room for 6 months and make a multimedia verse. Like, it's not the same energy. Like, I have to like really consider people's schedule. Like, hell, my lead actor of the film just got back from Japan like yesterday. So it's like, I wasn't able to obviously shoot anything over the last month or two because he was in Japan, and no fault to him. I think that's lit as shit. I'm glad that he had a good time, but at the same time, it's like it gets a little bit difficult to figure out things like scheduling and things like that if you're trying to, you know, finish a film. So
Valuable enough.
with all that said, I actually have a trailer for this movie chilling on my computer right now. Just I have trailers, I have posters. I've been working on the edits for this film over the last year to where I have a rough cut of most of the film on my computer rendered. I've been working on it. I think a lot of people think that I haven't been, which is fair because I haven't been very vocal about it because I've been focused on other stuff. But now it's like, all right, we're gonna start talking about this film again, and we're gonna try to get this movie out as soon as possible. And if I were to do any type of like guesstimations, if I could get my team together and put something together for a release by, I don't know, fall of this year, that would be great. Or sorry, of next year, that would be great. Now, do I think that's going to happen? I don't know. There's a lot of factors at play that go well beyond me. But that's what I'm aiming for. So I will say that my next film, and you're hearing it here first, will be in the can and ready for release by fall of next year. But with that said, it doesn't mean that the film is going to come out next year because I haven't even gotten to that part in terms of like distro. Like, are we going to do what we did last time at the Bond and do a premiere? Are we just going to throw it up on Film Hub and get it up on Tubi and call it a day? These are things I haven't even came close to thinking about yet because I've been just so distracted by other stuff. But I will say that the film will probably be done by fall, and I would say that in a perfect world you see something by December. You'll get a trailer well before then. Definitely will probably drop a trailer much sooner than you think. Not tomorrow or anything like that, but much sooner than you think. You will probably get a trailer for this film. And then from there, you know, it's kind of about rebuilding up the hype train and getting people excited about like the shit that I do again. And that's a large part of it too, is like, once again, it's momentum. I have to rebuild the momentum every time I do this shit. And it's getting a lot harder to do that. Like, as I get older, like, I'm fucking 40 years old now. I'm saying, like, I'm not that young, spry kid that's like eager and hungry to like go talk to these people and talk to y'all about shilling my shit. I'm just not that anymore. I just like creating stories and sharing them. And if you resonate with them, perfect, amazing. But selling myself is being something a little bit more of a challenge as I get older, because I become more and more disenfranchised and disconnected from the world. And that's just life. You know what I'm saying? Life is crazy. Politics, you know, health, so many things that factor into that. Friends. It goes well beyond just like make it and put it out, right? Like I have a 13-year-old son that's about to start high school next year. So like my focus is not necessarily about like, oh, being the man like it was 10 years ago, but it's more about being heard and felt and resonating with people who really resonate with me. I think that's like more important to me now more than ever. Instead of just being heard by whoever wants to hear me, I want to be heard by people who benefit by hearing me or feel something important to them by hearing me. I think that's more important to me than what are we doing here? Where am I going? What's going on here? Do I have to destroy this? Oh. No. Oh, that's why. Yeah, so that's a lot more important to me, to be heard and felt by people who resonate with me. That's like my ultimate goal more than anything else, is to do that. Yes. And that's a lot harder than it sounds. You know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to being an artist, a lot of it is about navigating these waters, especially with social media, yada yada yada, boo boo boo. I could rant forever about it, but you know, as you get older, like one of my favorite phrases that I think when I heard it when I was younger, I didn't quite understand it as much. Hold on a second. After you take damage, you go dark for 10 seconds. What does going dark mean? Dark means he vanishes for 10 seconds, strike to appear, and deal bonus damage. Interesting. So after I get hit, I go invisible. Is that what that means? That's kind of lit. Hold on. Deep Descent. Inner competition. I don't even care about that. Your cast, launch a projectile dead ahead. I'm going to try this one. This one sounds lit.
Now leave me be.
It sounds pretty lit. Yeah, because at the end of the day, I like I said, I just want to be able to tell stories and do dope shit. And I still have all these passions. I'm still working on music. I just put out Under Umbra's the deluxe version. I think I put that out like 3 weeks ago. And you know, that's 20 tracks that I've been working on over the last 2 years that are for y'all to enjoy. And I'm already like way deep into my next album. So I don't want to talk too much about like the concept or the title yet, because we're just not at that point yet. But it was interesting because when I showed my wife this one of the songs, which is like basically the title track for my next album, she had a really interesting description. She's like, this is like definitive you in terms of like things that I do and say on music. It's like those like textbook Jerron is how she described it. And in terms of like the beat, like the flow, what I'm talking about on the album, like she said that it's like the sound that she's come to know and love from me. Because I would definitely say that with Under Umbra's, like I'm rapping my ass off and I'm evolved, definitely. But it's also one of those things where like I'm rapping over trap beats, and no, it's a little bit more grandiose than my usual efforts. Because a lot of my efforts, my old school music, is literally just me making a soul sample, chopping that shit up and rapping on it. That's old school Jerron. That's like authentic Jerron Black One shit, right? And that's what that song was. It was definitely a soul sample that I chopped up and just rapped on. And my wife loved it. She's like, you know, this is like the authentic you. Yeah, we need that. that authentic you that only you can do, and it's appreciated. We don't want money. I think I actually do want money. Because last time I did this, there was a super fat boon that had some juicy shit that I couldn't buy. And so with this next album, it's like, all right, cool. I'm actually gonna try and like hold on to that energy. Like, I don't know exactly what that means, but like, it's kind of based off of like everything that I've been talking about in this conversation. Where like, even with Under Umbras, like that was such a weird project for me to put out for a variety of different reasons. And I don't want to get into some of them because some of them are personal, but like, just like what I was trying to do with that album in terms of like, well, I have to be seen a certain way by my peers and my fans because they're expecting that from me. At this point in my career, they're expecting this from me. And that's kind of what Under Umbras was. Not, don't get me wrong, like, I think that Under Umbras is actually my best album by far and probably my favorite album of my career. But I also put like so much more effort into that album than I usually do with my other projects. And that's not a bad thing at all. Like, I'm not crapping on that, but what it does mean though is that like
Straightforward.
it kind of like changed the energy a little bit. Well, actually, that's 100% the case, to where even the fact that Under Umbras wasn't even called Under Umbras when I first started making it, it was called Zenith, and it was supposed to come out 2.5 years ago, around the same time I started Star Camp. So once again, Star Camp ended up being a bit of a distraction from that, and a bunch of other crap happened that we may or may not get into at some point. But the whole idea is, oh shit, Under Umbras is supposed to serve a purpose, and that purpose is more like a this is Jerron trying to cross over into an audience that might not necessarily be for him. A younger crowd that wanted more trappy beats. The raps are rapping. Like I said, I rap my ass off on this album. The beats are great. Like, the album's fantastic, but the intention and the purpose of the album got a little weird for me, especially halfway through the album, because I ended up finishing and recording the second half of the album entirely by myself, just because of what I was going through at the time and me not wanting to deal with people. So, but I could argue, and once again, I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, anybody's listening to this, but I could argue that making that album by myself was much more satisfying, much more fulfilling, and more enjoyable than paying someone else to do it for me. Because I can do it, and the only reason I paid someone to do it because of the bureaucracy of it. I'm saying, like, what people are saying and like the opportunities that are presented from that. But in the grand scheme, I can do all that shit myself. I know how to record music. I know how to mix. I know it for the most part. Yes, there are people who are better than me, but like, I think one of the things that people enjoy most about me is the fact that I am a Renaissance man that can do it all. And I'm not saying that as a brag. I'm saying that as a literal fact of the history of my career. If you look at the things that I've done it all, man. Like, I've made movies. The only thing I really haven't done yet is like make a TV show, and maybe write a play, which are two things I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I really would love to write a play. Actually thinking about that more often than not. But I've made movies, I've rapped, I've dropped albums, I've gone on tour, I've managed artists, I've written scripts that have gone viral. I've gone viral like a dozen times on a variety of different mediums, from Reddit to Twitter. I've gone viral on Facebook. I've gone viral on just about every single app. So it's like I've kind of hit all the marks. Not all the marks, because there's more marks than that, but I've done quite a bit with this art shit. It's something I'm very proud of. But I also know that there's always more to be done. And I also know that I don't really have a lot left to prove to anybody, which I think was part of it too, is that like I felt like with Under Umbras I had something to prove. Because with The Setting Sun, that's the album that I put out previously. That album I purposely made as a pop album. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to make a mainstream sounding album that people can resonate with, on a pop level. Like, it's not some rap shit. I'm not trying to out-rap anybody. And I got a lot of backlash on that. Like, the album did fine, but a lot of people are like, oh, this is some mainstream shit. Why don't you get back to the hard raps and the hard beats? And so with Under Umbras, I kind of overcorrected. I wouldn't even call it overcorrection. It's just that I was like, all right, y'all want the hard shit? Here you go. Here it is.
One
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna smack you upside the head with it. And no, under Umbras goes hard as a result. Like, it's a very aggressive, dark kind of album. It's like the exact opposite of The Setting Sun, and that was by design. Like, that's what I wanted. But I had to, I wouldn't say force it. Force it's not the word that I would use. I just had to think differently about that project more than other projects that I have in my career. And it is what it is. Like, the album is by far, not by far, but it's my most successful project of my career. And it's done very well. We sold some copies and we've gotten good feedback on it. I haven't really heard a lot of negativity about it. So, like, in the grand scheme of things, everything worked exactly how I wanted it to. So it's like, why would I just not do Under Umbras again, right? Well, it goes back to the story, and it goes back to what the ultimate goals are, and like what feels good to me as an artist and what feels good to me as a person. Like, are we still doing it? If we're not, if we feel some type of way about it, then we have to adjust, right? So with Under Umbras, it's like, cool. We're gonna have to switch it back up on the next one. You know what I'm saying, like, we need to go back to that authentic, not authentic, but like that raw Black One, Jerron Eichner sound that people have come to know and love. Because even though it does exist on Under Umbras, it doesn't translate to everybody. Then we got a fuck ton of money too. Let's see. We want this. Dash. No. I don't know which one I want. I think we'll do this one.
My silver.
We still got $800. So we'll do you. Yes. And then we'll do, we can actually get both, the shield and you. Fuck yeah. Alright, cool. I guess that was probably a bad choice. I think that was a bad choice. Cool. We made it all the way to the boss. I actually didn't think that I would make it this far, to be honest. I thought I was going to die at Cerebus server is called. But I've gotten pretty good at this game. So I think it's almost guaranteed that I'll make it to the boss 9 times out of 10. But I have not beaten Kronos yet. I'm already getting fucked up right now. Jeez. You know how sticky it gets? I think I actually fucked up. I realized what I did wrong by grabbing that shield. Is that I can no longer... Oh no, I can still do it. We're good. I'm not gonna make this. Let's see, I haven't really figured out this person's patterns yet. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Sorry guys, I'm going quiet for a bit because it's definitely hard to talk and play the game at the same time. I just wasted my Kamehameha blast. Bruh.
I can't. Unbelievable.
This. Okay. Oh, he beat me. Fuck. I thought I had him. Shit. All right. Well, that's actually a good place to stop, I suppose. So, anyways.
What happened to your daughter, Hades? I'll ask you nicely. Only one.
I'm trying to see if something's about to happen right here. No. Okay. Anyways, sometimes shit be happening in between deaths, like story elements and stuff like that. Anyways, yeah. So my album I've been working on, it's pretty like authentic, raw, real Jaron Eichner in like the rarest form, not the rarest form, but the rawest form that you can get me. One of the songs I actually just wrote yesterday is going to go with the Parallaxers. It's going to be like a single to the Parallaxer movie universe. Like, it's not going to be like there's not going to be a soundtrack to the Parallaxers, at least not yet. That's not planned. But there will be a song, and that's going to be the song that I'm writing. That song, when I was listening to it today, I was like, man, this song is actually good enough to be on the album. And so it is. It's on the album. It's called Shift. I'm actually a pretty big fan of this track. It's pretty dope. I was going to play it. Then I realized that I don't want to do that because there's a couple logistics involved with that I don't want to worry about doing right now. So, but yeah, this album's coming. I would say, I don't know, fall of this year would be ideal, but me even saying that is kind of like, I don't know, because I take a long time to make albums. And the reason is, like, this is one of my, I guess, cheat codes. I don't even know what you want to call it. It's like the thing that I do with my albums is that with every song that I have the intention of releasing, I have to listen to it at least 100 times. And I'm talking like, not in the production process. I'm talking about after the song is done. I have to listen to it 100 times. And if I'm still like having the same feelings or better feelings around this song after 100 listens, then it's good enough to be released. So, you know, it takes a long time to listen to a song 100 times. That's actually like a lot of listens, right? So because of that, it takes a while for my music to come out. But I've been in this mode, man. Like, my creative energy is so high right now. Like, I have a lot of creative energy that I've just been building up over the last couple of years that's just about to explode. So don't be surprised if you get something sooner than later. With that said, I think another thing is that starting at the turn of the year, I'm going to try and go live on YouTube daily. I say try because I'm very bad at this, but ideally I'm going to try and set a goal to try to do like a 365 day, like a 1 year challenge on YouTube where I go live every day on YouTube, even if it's just for 5 minutes, just talking to y'all real quick. But mostly, ideally, it will be gameplays, like me playing Hades 2 while I talk about what I got going on. Maybe I go on here and play Hades and tell a story. Maybe I talk about recent events like UFOs and drones, whatever. But expect that. And originally, I was going to relaunch the Jaron Eichner show, but then I realized I actually don't want to do that, so I'm not going to. So we are just going to go live a lot more on here. With the intention of, once again, finding you nerds out there who love video games and love storytelling and want to just vibe with a dude like me, follow the channel. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Go ahead and pop up here tomorrow. Go ahead and click the little bell thing, notification thing. Click on that, because I might be back tomorrow for another stream. Maybe trying to actually beat Hades. Maybe I go live every day until I beat Hades. I'll be here forever if that's the case. Because I'm pretty sure that even if I beat Chronos right now, that if it works anything like the last game, I have to beat him like 10 times or some dumb shit like that. So maybe I go live every day for an hour or two until I beat Hades. I don't know. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all stay safe. Take care. Go get Parallaxers. Go get the Parallaxers. Go to theparallaxers.com right now. Go cop the book. Go listen to the story. And let me know what you think. I really love to hear you guys' feedback. One love. Peace.